I voted for the first time in my life yesterday, and today I feel strangely elated by the election results. And some people might think that's odd because superficially, on the surface of things, what do we have? A Conservative party in coalition with a party that seems a little bit extreme on the surface. Some of the stuff that I'm reading about their views on women and the kind of stuff. But for me, I think to focus on the negatives is to ignore the magic of what has just happened. The things I'd like to focus on are this: one, in the face of unbelievable opposition from print media and media in general, like Jeremy Corbyn and the Labour Party gained 30 seats when there were those kind of derisory front page Sun headlines, Corbyn, and at a time where there's been terror attacks in this country, a time where people would be well within their rights to feel tentative and nervous and to reach out in fear and to withdraw in quiet dread. People are opening their hearts, arms and minds to new possibilities. This is an incredible time for a number of reasons. One, young people are re-engaging in politics in a way that was unfeasible just a few years ago. When I was saying, there's no point voting, it was caveated, with what's the point? They're all the same. Now, like a politician like David Cameron or Tony Blair seems like a risible atavistic throwback from way back. And why? Because Jeremy Corbyn is an authentic politician with integrity. I've been listening to analysis on the news and they're saying, well, how did Corbyn campaign so well? As if it's a dance he's doing, as if it's a mime, as if it's some kind of performance. It isn't a performance. What you're witnessing, and the photographic evidence to prove it, is someone who's lifelong committed to making the world a better place for ordinary people. A man that has an allotment, for God's sake. A man that makes jam is now the mandated leader of the opposition. And furthermore, young people are reinvigorated and re-engaged in politics. This is a tremendous time. Don't underestimate the significance of what's just happened. Don't let this be repackaged as a negative thing. This is glorious and wonderful, and I'll tell you why. Because the leadership of the Labour Party now have the authority to lead, or to oppose at least, on the basis of their manifesto. Say me getting involved in politics. I'm a self-involved person, I'm egotistical, I'm self-interested in loads of ways. But Jeremy Corbyn, you've seen his house, you've seen those photos of him protesting as a younger man, you've seen the quiet dignity in which he protects his wife from the glare of publicity, you've seen the way he refused to engage in the sort of mudslinging, low-frequency politics. This is a genuine change now. The genie is out of the bottle, and of course we're not all waking up yippee and free education for students, but those things are on the table now and they can't be withdrawn. Dear Theresa May, sort of quivering back into power, sort of looking more sort of matronly and damned than ever before. I feel kind of sorry for her. When I looked at that sort of that sort of gathering in Maidenhead, the sort of knight who says near Black Darth Vader guy looks like a more plausible, more humane proposition than her. This won't last. This presents us with questions around Brexit. It reopens the debate around our relationship with America, with the EU, with the kind of politicians that we elect. I think this is a fundamental shift, and I think that you should be feeling positive and optimistic. I think those of us that voted, us voters, we should feel proud. What I feel as well, that I don't need to worry so much. I'm doing this in a car. I'm not saying, hey, listen, I'm living in a shack now because I'm going to dedicate my life to just trying to change the world. I'm in a car with my girlfriend and my dog and my baby, because I don't need to be perfect, because Jeremy Corbyn is being an approximation of perfection for us. We have leadership. We have role models now. You should listen to Francesca Martinez talking about Jeremy Corbyn in my podcast, Under the Skin. Wet Wednesdays, that man's turning up campaigning. John McDonnell, decent man with integrity that cares. And look at the characters that have been brought out by this. Look at Owen Jones. Owen Jones, just relentless enthusiasm. The real face of young Labour in every conceivable way, because let's face it, it is a young face. This is a time for us to feel optimistic and excited about the future. And I feel invigorated by this. I'm buzzing about this, because change is inevitable now. I suppose what we have to remember is not to disengage. The politics is not some thing that happens every 4 years, like a World Cup, like a democracy of a carnival of democracy, a festival of democracy that comes around once in a while and you X a box and then then clear off out of it. No, this is something that we can be continually engaged in, and with the representation of people like Jeremy Corbyn and John McDee and Diane Abbott, who throughout this has been abused and attacked. And you know what, like, I myself have sort of, like, I ran into Diane Abbott once and I was a little bit like disrespectful, because it was around the time that I was campaigning with them people who were saving their estate, and she was sort of like was hustling away into Downing Street, and because of my own ego I thought, I don't want her hustling away and I want the credit for this New Era estate. What I feel like now is it's safe for me to be a person that's a little bit vain and a little bit self-interest, and just do what I can to be supportive. Do what I can. I don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. We don't need to have all of the answers right now. All we need to do is accept something significant has shifted. This is a possibility for real change. This is a re-engagement in meaningful politics. And when people are sort of start being rude and derisory about Jeremy Corbyn again, he's got an allotment, he makes jam, you can't have him meeting Trump, then recognise this is what it is. That to be a politician has become synonymous with being inhumane, with being stripped of dignity. He's conducted this campaign in an exemplary manner, and people have responded in an exemplary manner. It makes you feel enriched with the possibility